Hello everyone, Josh first back again, bringing you guys some more Digimon ReArise, and today I'm going to be showcasing my Digimon ReArise mega tier list for the current global version of the game. So, I also wrote something here for you guys to check out. This list is here as a reference sheet for possible mega rankings of Digimon in global ReArise. This list is not meant as a dedicated means to build or prioritize certain megas, only as a way to show what Digimon are best suited for overall gameplay at the current state of the meta. This list can change weekly. Now, obviously, if you don't have all these Digimon, you know, some of your personal rankings might be a little bit higher or lower, just depending on what you have available. So really, everyone's tier list is probably going to be different. Some of you may agree with my tier list, some of you may not. Some of you may agree with certain things or other things that you don't. You can let me know all that in the comment section below. If you guys want to take part in creating your own tier list, I will have this link for you guys in the description below. I created this template for you all. I already uploaded all the current megas available in global. Unless I missed one or two, I do apologize. Hopefully I didn't. I'll try to add to it later on, and maybe we'll do another video like this sometime down the road. Yeah, if you guys want to hook me up, you know, come chill with me on Twitter. You can follow me, cheap plug there at the bottom of this page. So there we have it. So let's go into the presentation mode. All right, so what we have here is we have grades S, A, B, C, and D. Now, what is S tier? S tier would basically be a Digimon that you'll never remove from your team. It's just absolutely amazing and all content available. A would be Digimon that are very, very excellent in at least one or two game modes, but not all. B would be Digimon that are usable everywhere or just in certain situations and are very good in that situation. C are Digimon that just aren't very well utilized, or even really needed as a top option in anything. And then D would just be Digimon that are just outright garbage, and you would never have a reason to build them up and ever use them. They'll just sit on your bench for eternity. So, D rank. We already know who D rank is. A lot of you know he's a fan favorite here on the channel. Prince Mimimon. Prince Mimimon, Prince Mamimon, whatever you want to call him, it don't matter because he has only one name, and that is Trash. So he has an ultimate variant of just Mamimon that does his job better. So yeah, a mega that's outshined by an ultimate of itself is pretty sad, thus it is in the trash pile under the D rank. C rank. Now, these are Digimon that are borderline trash, but could be somewhat useful if they're all you have available in your account. That would be Shitmon number 1, Shitmon number 2, MetalGarurumon, and then, of course, we're also going to be throwing into that group probably MetalGarurumon as well, and that should do it for our Cs. So, now, of these Cs, obviously MetalGarurumon and MetalGarurumon are way better than the two Shitmon. MetalGarurumon does do a little bit of work, as well as MetalGarurumon in PvP. They're okay, but there's just other Digimon Bs and As that do their job a little bit better, thus they have to be pushed down to C. But if we didn't have those other Digimon already available, they'd probably get bumped up to a B. So I'm giving a little bit of love to MetalGarurumon and MetalGarurumon, but sadly there's just, I can't bump them up when there's other options already available, so they have to maintain a C. And the two Shitmons, I can't put them at D because they're just not as bad as Prince Mamimon. No one is. That's why he's down there by himself. Alright, now let's start getting into the good Digimon. The really good ones. So we're going to start off with putting both of our healers at B. Technically, MetalGarurumon isn't a healer in the sense that you would understand it. He's more or less, hey, if you die, I'm going to revive you and give you 80% HP. So it's not technically a heal. It's more just a revive with a base percentage of HP. So he's doing that. The problem is he's only doing it to single targets. If you are playing in PvP with AoE cleave teams and speed teams, which is pretty much the meta right now for both that and Underworld, MetalGarurumon just can't heal, or I'm sorry, can't revive fast enough. Now, what's very interesting is Plesiomon has a little bit of a nod over MetalGarurumon, in the fact that Plesiomon could bump up to an A if it wasn't for the fact that he's just so slow. The same problem that most healers have, you know, green Digimon in general. But Plesiomon does have a little bit of a nod. He's kind of like a B+. Not quite an A, but more like a B+, but not enough to push him to an A. But he's definitely one of the better Bs, in my opinion. For the simple fact, if you build him as a big body, high HP, high defense, and high block rate, he's going to survive quite a while, and since he's got AoE, strong AoE heals, he can theoretically reset the fight. even if you are getting completely outsped. The problem is that he's going to get beat on quite a bit because of how slow he is, and you'd have to put a lot of investment into him to make him extremely hard to kill. But then again, that's taking into account plugins, and I'm not using plugins in my rankings because that's just not fair, because every player is going to have different plugins. It's just not going to be the same, and it's all based on RNG on your drop. So I'm not going to use plugins as a means to try and push a Digimon up or down. That's just not realistic. So he's going to remain at a B, but I personally feel he's probably closer to a B+. All right, other Digimon in a B category. We have Grand Kuwagamon and V1.0. The reason why I put these two together is I feel if you put these two together on your team, they are both an A. So put an asterisk next to Grand Kuwagamon and V1.0. They are, in my personal opinion, closer to an A than Plesiomon if you put them together. If you put them together, because Grand Kuwagamon is going to protect V1.0, thus allowing V1.0 to use his insanely high attack potential to cleave an entire team. The reason why V1.0 is stuck in B with Kuwagamon is for the simple fact that his HP is extremely low. Therefore, he has to be a B because he is easy to kill. He's easy to get cleaved himself, because his HP is comparable to an Ultimate Digimon, not a Mega. It's like 4,000 or something. It's very low. So he can get killed pretty quickly from a cleave team, especially a very fast cleave team. So in that regard, I have to put him as a B. But if you pair him up with Grand Kuwagamon, who's got taunt that can protect him and allow him to just unload on the opposition, then they both will bump up to an A if they're together. So again, I'm putting an asterisk next to Grand Kuwagamon and Venom. If you have them both together, then they get bumped up to an A. Otherwise, they stay and remain at a B. And like I said, the same thing with Plesiomon. If you have the right plugins on him, he can possibly be an A for you as well. But I still have to keep him at a B because we're not using plugins as a means to rank these characters. So that's that on that subject. All right. Another Digimon. We're going to throw in Ebimon, because Ebimon is basically just a dumbed down version of Minervamon. So spoiler alert, Minervamon is going to be an A. I had to just bring that reference in because that's the easiest way to tell you why Ebimon is a B and not an A, because Minervamon is just a better version of Ebimon. So Minervamon gets the A rank, he gets the B. It's that simple. We're also going to throw in MetalGarurumon as a B right now because he's going to be very good AoE damage, but he's not going to be any of your top. He's not going to be really providing you much else. It's just going to be mostly just some semi-AoE DPS. I believe he attacks 2 targets on his S1 and then AoE on his S2 or something like that. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I know that he's built more around just slight DPS for PvP. He's going to basically be replacing your WarGreymon, your MetalGarurumons on your AoE cleave team if you get him from your egg if you are S rank. So he's not going to be like a super utility or a super AoE DPS. He's going to be somewhat in the middle there. So he's going to get the B rank. He's not quite as good as Minerva. He's not quite as good as Sakuyamon. He's not going to be quite as strong as a V1.0. So, I mean, we have to put him in that category as a B. Still very solid unit, just not an A worthy, okay? We're also going to be putting Titanmon in this category. Titanmon, very good with his passive in both Underworld and PvP, especially Underworld. He is probably the Underworld MVP right now in the game, so he does get a little bit of points for that, but not enough to put him in A category because he still falters in other areas, and he's not going to be one of your big AoE DPSs either. He does hit pretty hard for a tenacious Digimon. It's just he's not going to be comparable with the Calm and the Power types that we already currently have. So I have to bump him down to a B, but still a very solid and, in my opinion, underrated unit. All right. Another B here is, this one might be a bit controversial, but I would say Puppamon. There's also another controversial one we're going to be talking about as well. Actually, maybe 2. But I have to put Puppamon here because Puppamon, again, he's one of those units that could easily be an A if the meta was slightly different, but therefore but since it's not, I have to keep him at a B. Still a very strong PvP unit. That's pretty much where we're going to use him more than anything else. So he's going to be solid in one mode over, of course, others. So therefore, I have to give him a B. He's not bad enough to be a C, and he's not just quite good enough to be an A. But as a B, he's a pretty solid, and I do enjoy him. He was actually very good when I played in JP for the first time. Several, like basically over a year and a half, almost a year and a half ago. So very cool unit. I do like Puppamon. All right. Another B we're going to be talking about that some of you may be like, okay, he could really be 2 different ranks here. Yeah, actually, he could be 3 different ranks. That is Ravemon. Ravemon could very easily be a C rank or an A rank and not just a B. Because here's the problem with Ravemon, and this is what I mentioned in my stream yesterday. This is why I didn't want to talk about it, because somebody asked, how good is Ravemon? Where would you rank him? Well, you're finding out right now. Ravemon is being pushed back right now because of WarGreymon's passive. And since everyone in the game has WarGreymon, basically because of the 5-step guarantee, if you did it, and I hope you did, he's being used in PvP all over the place. So thus, Ravemon is being somewhat nerfed right off the bat because of that. Because of the fact that there's a Digimon in PvP that counters him hard and everyone has it. So Ravemon is not able to achieve his full potential, which would be an A rank right now, thus pushing him back to B. But I don't feel that there's enough reason to warrant pushing him back down to C, because I'm seeing a lot less WarGreymons. People are starting to realize that the meta is an AoE cleave speed battle right now. Thus, they're starting to take their WarGreymons out and bringing in their MetalGarurumons. They're putting in Venomiotismons. They're putting in any other strong AoEs that they can to stack up with their two AoEs such as Sakuyamon and Minerva. So they're slowly getting rid of their WarGreymons, and some are even starting to just run Ravemon instead of that as well, so they can just, pack on the AoE damage. Even Ebamon I've started seeing a little bit in PvP lately. So, because of that, Ravemon's stock is starting to go back up. So, I want to put him in a middle ground where he's not quite ready to be A yet until WarGreymon's completely removed from PvP. And I don't want to put him as a C because WarGreymons are starting to slowly leave the meta in PvP. So, thus, Ravemon is a B. We found a nice sweet spot in middle ground, but it could be a month from now, it could be a couple weeks from now. He might move up to an A for a lot of you because, the less WarGreymons you see, the more effective Ravemon becomes. Very good PvP unit, very good in Underworld as well. So, very solid. All right. Now, we have one more to put in B rank, and this might be the most controversial pick of the entire video. I am putting MetalGarurumon in the B slot. And I know some of you is all like, oh my god, he should be an S. He should be at least an A. Why are you putting him in the B slot? I'm about to explain my reasoning, and I hope that this makes a lot of sense to you. He is oftentimes compared to WarGreymon. The problem is, WarGreymon is not built around RNG. MetalGarurumon is. MetalGarurumon may or may not land a freeze. MetalGarurumon may or may not get a crit off. Because remember, we're not taking plugins into account here. You can't say, oh, but you can get like 60% crit from plugins and he'll have a 100% crit chance with his own skill set. You could say that, but then you could say that for a lot of other Digimon too. You could, I could bust up my block rate. I could boost up my defense or HP. I can make my Venomiotismon have so much HP from plugins that he's now an A rank. You could do things like that. So we're not bringing plugins into the conversation. So I hope a lot of people do understand that point. So MetalGarurumon, in my opinion, is got to be lower than WarGreymon because MetalGarurumon does have so much attack potential, but a lot of it is built around RNG. Is he going to crit or isn't he? Is he going to freeze or isn't he? Whereas where WarGreymon, he's going to get that guaranteed 50% power up. He's going to lower the enemy's attack by 30%. There is no RNG. WarGreymon just does as he pleases, and he does it very well. And because of that, it puts him above MetalGarurumon. It gives him the nudge. And that is why he is going to be in the A rank as well. So hopefully that made a lot of sense. I'm not giving any shade to MetalGarurumon. MetalGarurumon is still solid. But you got to take into account, he has a lot of RNG variables to play around, while WarGreymon doesn't. So, you're taking a high risk, high reward versus a high reward, low risk. Okay, so one has to obviously be over the other, and I cannot give WarGreymon an S rank, and we'll get to that in a moment. All right, now we have a few more to put in A here. We got Grand Kiwagamon, Grand Kiwagamon, my goodness. Definitely not the right Digimon there. Genkuamon, there we go, one of the Royal Knights. If you pair him up with HighAndromon, he is amazing. And he has very high attack potential for a tenacious Digimon in his own right. And obviously, because he's a Royal Knight, obviously Bandai was going to treat him very well, because Bandai knows that the players around the world love their Royal Knights. So they're not going to make any Royal Knights garbage. So obviously, they're going to make him very good, and thus he's going to get an A rank. He is, granted, probably the hardest Digimon to get on this list right now, because of the fact you do need 750 PvP medals. But if you do get him, he is definitely worth every bit of it. So very solid unit there. And now we have Sakuyamon, another unit similar to Minervamon, very powerful AoE. Like Minervamon, she does have the capabilities of lowering AoE defense by 20% for all of the enemies. Of course, hers is on her S2 compared to Minerva's passive, but she also does a full AoE on her S1 as well, not just her S2, so it gives her a little bit of an edge there. She also lowers attack on her S1, and she's just a very powerful, purist AoE that you can build with a lot of speed like Minerva and get them over 50 plus speed and do some crazy things in both Underworld and in PvP, and as well as just normal story farming if you would like as well. And that leaves us with our final A, which of course that's going to spoil who is going to be our S. And A is going to be Boltmon. So Boltmon is a very powerful Digimon. He's kind of comparable to Venomiotismon in a way because he's got that very high attack potential, but he's not as squishy. So he's kind of like a middle ground. All right. So it's very good. It's like you put like more of a tanky unit with a very powerful DPS unit, and you merge them together, and then you got Boltmon. Because Boltmon not only does high attack in his own right from the multipliers, but he also does DOTs with burn, damage over time, which if you build Boltmon with a lot of attack, that burn damage is going to do even more damage, and it's going to be very, very solid, and it's going to help you win a lot of fights in PvP, Underworld, and just normal, just farming. And because he does have a DOT, he can also be pretty useful in clash battles. He also lowers crit rate on his S1, which is going to be good in clash battles as well. So even though that he's built more around, multi-target attacks, he can still do pretty well against single-target attacks, such as clash battles. So very, very solid unit all around. And that leaves us with our final choice, and that'll be none other than HighAndromon, who is going to finish off the top of our mountain here at S rank because he's just a Digimon that you're going to throw him in a team and never take him out. He is going to be solid in every game mode currently available in the game. He's going to be extremely hard to ever remove, 60% defense up, AoE shock, and he also does AoE block percentage. He is just the epitome of what a tank should be, and protecting your team is his go-to. He can either slow a team down with shock and also give you an upper hand in that regard. He can also higher up the defenses by block rates and defense percentages, making your team not get cleaved so hard. And the fact that he's just got a big body, he's also very hard to kill, allowing you to utilize his skill sets even further. So just an overall well-rounded, the best well-rounded Mega that we currently have in a game, and the only one deserving of an S rank. So that is my tier list, guys. My S's, my A's, my B's, my C's, my D's. If you agree with all these, or if there's some that you'd like to change up, be sure to tell me in the Discord, or also tell me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe if you are a new viewer to the channel. Tick notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I hope you do enjoy videos like this. Hopefully, I gave you guys good reasonings for why everything is where it's at. Hopefully, it makes a lot of sense. Do some of my choices surprise you? I'm very curious. And you guys can also go ahead and play around with this tier list yourself, because I'll drop the link for this in the description below, right next to the Discord link, so you guys can join in. And I'm going to catch you all in the next one. Have an awesome day wherever you are. Until then, peace.